going to be the winners in AI? It is going to be companies with visionary managements, good distribution, and proprietary data. And we think the secret sauce and the real beneficiaries of AI are going to be those with proprietary data. The biggest one being Tesla. More data on real world driving miles than all the other auto companies and tech companies focused on autonomous in the world. Tesla, now probably at 7 times revenue, is probably the biggest play out there in terms of the revenue potential. It's going after the autonomous taxi platform market, which we think is going to be an $8 to $10 trillion market globally.
Now for a name we can't help but talk about, the most actively traded options name on paper and, of course, in our hearts, which is Tesla.
In this video, Cathie Wood of ARK Invest once again urges investors to pay attention to what's really happening at Tesla, who, for the record, are definitely just a car company. And speaking of Tesla, who are just a car company, some of the geniuses on CNBS have some trading advice for investors leading into Tesla's Q2 earnings results. If you're lucky, there might even be some technical analysis, which definitely makes sense. And by the way, if you'd like more content, check the links in the pinned comment to join Patreon and to subscribe over on Twitter. And quick heads up to my Twitter subscribers, I'll be posting an update on how much revenue I got for the second full month of Twitter subscriptions in the coming days.
The ETF hit an 11-month high today. Take a look at that chart. Outperforming even mega caps like Microsoft, Alphabet, and Apple, fueled by top 2 holdings, Tesla and Coinbase, which have doubled this year or more. Most of ARK's other disruptive tech funds with a similar or even better performance.
So we started our research on artificial intelligence, actually when we were studying the possibility of autonomous vehicles way back in 2014. Who are going to be the winners in AI? It is going to be companies with visionary managements, good distribution, global in this case, and proprietary data.
Does anyone know any companies with visionary management, a global footprint, and a shit ton of proprietary data? No, neither do I.
And we think the secret sauce and the real beneficiaries of AI are going to be those with proprietary data. The biggest one being Tesla.
Oh, silly me. I forgot about Tesla. Isn't that awkward?
More data on real world driving miles than all the other auto companies and tech companies focused on autonomous in the world.
So I think we can safely ignore this. After all, Tesla's fleet of 4+ million vehicles collecting incredible amounts of proprietary data, orders of magnitude faster than all of their so-called competition combined. It's not like that's going to be invaluable for training their neural nets, improving their AI, and solving autonomy with what will then be an unassailable lead, capturing huge portions of winner-takes-most markets globally, right? Because I heard that Tesla's just a car company. So I think we can ignore this. It's not important. Won't move the needle enormously for Tesla financials. Won't unlock a $10 opportunity. And besides, Tesla's just a car company. Why do they even need proprietary data?
But isn't its shortage of, the AI chips that everyone wants, isn't that part of the bull case for NVIDIA? They can't produce enough because they're in such high demand?
Yes, and what happens when you hear the word shortage? What do you do as a purchasing manager? You have to have, you're the purchasing manager. You better have the supply. And when you don't get it, you double order, you triple order, you quadruple order. That happens routinely. And I'm not saying this is a cyclical comment. This is nothing about NVIDIA's secular potential. We think it will face more competition than many people expect. We know AMD. We know companies like Tesla. Tesla has designed its own AI chip.
Well, as we've already established, Tesla is just a car company. So why would they have designed their own AI training chip?
Meta Platforms, own AI chip. So Google, same, own AI chip. So it doesn't have the market to itself like I think people think. And it's priced as though it is the one beneficiary out there. If you look at all of the stocks in our portfolio, the companies have proprietary data that no one else has.
That's weird. She keeps talking about proprietary data, and this seems to be core to ARK's investment thesis for why they own positions in certain companies. And spoiler alert, Tesla is one of, if not the largest positions across most of ARK's funds, seeming to suggest there's quite a bit of value to that proprietary data that Tesla, who are just a car company and doesn't need AI training chips, happens to have.
So, Cathie, is this as good as it gets for NVIDIA, or are you looking for an opportunity to pick back up some shares?
Sure. If it were to correct, it goes through these massive corrections around inventory gluts and shortages. And yes, we certainly would. But understand, it is a well understood play on AI at 25 times revenue. Tesla, now probably at 7 times revenue, is probably the biggest play out there in terms of the revenue potential. It's going after the autonomous taxi platform market, which we think is going to be an $8 to $10 trillion market globally.
Okay, so she said trillion with a T. So I'm not very smart. Maybe I am wrong about this, but let's just go through this. So it goes like 10, then it goes 100, then it goes 1,000, then it goes trillion, then it goes million, then it goes billion, right? So we can definitely ignore this because 8 to 10 trillion is not very much. And also, NVIDIA, having gone to the moon recently, suddenly investors realizing, oh, NVIDIA, AI is a thing. Lots of potential here at about 25 times revenue. Tesla currently around 7 times revenue. I'm pretty bad at math, but if just hypothetically Tesla were around 25 times revenue and the market was looking at Tesla as if they were an AI company similar to NVIDIA, which they're definitely not. Remember, they're just a car company. But hypothetically, that'd put Tesla around a $3 trillion market cap or so, which has nothing to do with anything. So let's move on.
By 2030. So we're looking again for those data plays and those with proprietary data. NVIDIA is focused on hardware. For every dollar of hardware, AI will pull through probably $8 of software. So again, NVIDIA, really important cornerstone stock, has from $5 to $450 done a lot of work. And now people understand it's out in the open. It's not the hidden gem that it was when we were looking at it as a PC gaming chip company and nothing. That's how people looked at it, 7-8 years ago.
Isn't that interesting? A little over half a decade ago, NVIDIA stock's around $5 a share. It's currently around $4.50. It's increased about 90 times in that span of time. At around $5 a share, the stock market looks at NVIDIA and thinks, oh, they make chips for gaming PCs. They're a gaming chip company. Turns out there was a little bit more to the NVIDIA story. They weren't, in fact, just a gaming chip company. Of course, this is the only example in the history of the stock market in which a publicly traded company was widely misunderstood, and the vast majority of investors in the stock market thought it was an X company and that's it, when in fact it had much larger potential. The signs were there, but just being ignored. In unrelated matters, remember, Tesla is just a car company. I still don't understand why they've built their own AI training chip, why Cathie Wood keeps talking about proprietary data or autonomy. Anyway, $8 to $10 trillion is not very much, so just ignore it. What happened to NVIDIA stock recently would never ever happen to Tesla stock, because unlike NVIDIA, which was misunderstood, Tesla is definitely well understood.
Now for a name we can't help but talk about, the most actively traded options name on paper and, of course, in our hearts, which is Tesla.
Yeah, so I think it's important to remember when earnings seasons come along that this is really when stocks move. The first 4 weeks of earnings season, which is typically nowadays kicked off with JP Morgan's earnings, the S&P rises about 90 basis points on average versus 60 basis points for all periods. So this is when stocks really move. And Tesla is no exception. This is a stock that has moved nearly 20% higher or lower in the month following earnings over the past 3 years. We have Cybertruck probably coming out later this year. And, one of the things we're beginning to realize as cars are going EV, that Tesla is now the legacy EV automaker. Of course, they are the legacy EV automaker without all the baggage that most of the legacy EV automakers have. They don't have the dealer issues. Oftentimes when you have high-in-demand cars for the regular automakers, it's the dealers that end up making the money. The thing is, we've had a very nice run in the equity. So I'm actually looking to move out of that equity position.
You want to play a fun game? Let's play a fun game. It's called, What If I Was As Smart As This Guy and Had a Short-Term Trading Mentality? We've just heard we've had a good move in Tesla stock. Therefore, he's looking to exit his position in Tesla stock, as in lock in a profit. By the way, in fairness, you definitely can't go broke making a profit. But this fun little game isn't called How to Make a Few Dollars. This fun little game is called, What If Instead of trading in and out of stonks, I was looking forward over a long period of time, had actually done some thinking, built a valuation model, and rather than thinking, oh, it made some money, better look in a profit, I was thinking, hang on, what does the future of this company look like? Does it make sense to sell now, pay capital gains tax, and then find an even better opportunity to reinvest the profits? Or do they have an even brighter future? What if I just continued to hold the stock and perhaps even accumulated more? Let's play a game. So this game is called Don't Be a Fucking Donkey. What we are currently looking at here is some of my earlier transactions on Tesla stock. By the way, I've only ever bought Tesla, never sold a share. Reason? Because I'm not a fucking idiot. Just imagine that I had the same mentality. And let's say that after I saw a 100% gain on my Tesla stock in the early days, I sold. Buy at $13.86, sell around $27 a share, lock in 100% profit, which is comparable to what Tesla's done year to date. Probably the best case scenario for our short-term trader friend we've just heard from, who's selling Tesla stock because he's seen lots of growth. What would I have missed out on? Well, we just need to look at the right-hand column over here. Let's zoom in. If I'd locked in a 100% profit, I'd have missed out on almost 2,000% additional growth. It's about a 20x. Now, I'm not very good at math, but is roughly 20x a better return than roughly 1x, 3x, 5x? I don't know. I'm not very good at math. I'm not even an investor. I'm just some dumbass who makes videos on the internet. But this is what happens when, instead of having a short-term trading mentality, you're looking into the future rather than what's already happened. Oh, it went up a lot, I better sell. Instead, you're going, well, I don't care what's already happened. I care about what's going to happen, what's likely to happen. So we are looking at the percentage gains on some of these Tesla transactions starting early 2016. So let's just scroll through some of these percentage gains and or losses to see if, at least in the case of Tesla stock, a trader mentality would have served you best or a long-term buy and hold mentality may have served you best. If you guys want to nerd out on the exact numbers, go for it. But just really roughly speaking, some of these early purchases of Tesla stock are up about 20 times, 15 times, over 20 times, 13, 15, 14. Decent returns. Almost a 20x here, over 20. I'll just zoom out for you guys. These are purchases from 2016 all the way through to 2019. By the way, I was actually retired in 2018 and most of 2019 as well. This was money I'd set aside for emergencies, and it turned out Tesla stock, split adjusted, still around 15, 16, 17 bucks a share, was the emergency of emergencies. 31st of May, split adjusted, 2019, Tesla stock, $12.36. Imagine, Tesla stock doubled to $24 a share and I'd sold. It's now up another 10x since that point in time. So as you can see, you should definitely be a short-term trader and lock in your short-term profits because you'd never regret it. That's what a genius would do. For those keeping score at home, these transactions represent the purchase of 12,660 shares of Tesla stock, all split adjusted. The cost basis on these a little under $200,000 US. So again, hypothetically, maybe I thought, oh well, every time I double my money, I'll lock in my profits. I could have made $200,000 in profits on Tesla stock. Not bad. I mean, you're not going to go broke doing that, but anyone want to guess the current market value of those 12,660 shares of Tesla stock that I didn't sell to lock in some short-term profits? I'll let you guys do the math on that one. So as we can clearly see, a short-term trading mentality is the only way to make money in the stocks market. And of course, if you happen to identify a generational company with a once-in-a-century leader, disrupting multiple industries, running circles around everyone with unassailable leads on everything that matters, rather than modeling out the company and what do you think it might look like in the future, and considering the implications of holding the stock, makes a lot more sense to lock in a short-term profit because that's what a genius would do. Unfortunately, I'm not a genius, I'm a dumbass, so I just buy and hold because instead of looking at the past and go, oh, the stock went up, better sell, I'm actually looking at the future. In fact, I'm so forward-looking in terms of how far out into the future that I actually model this company out more than a decade into the future. You guys may have heard my Tesla valuation model and fair valuation runs out for an entire decade. And I privately model much further into the future than that. Now, this is just a hunch, and remember, I'm no genius, so who knows? But I suspect that most of the folks who are trading Tesla stock bought a bit, went up a bit, time to sell, time to exit my equity position. I don't think these people have actually taken the time to look into the future and model what they think Tesla might look like in 5, 10, 15, 20 years' time. Either that or there are some vast disagreements between what we expect the future of these companies actually looks like. Speaking of long term, you know what I intend on doing 10 years from now? The same shit I'm doing today, making content, although not on YouTube because fuck YouTube, fuck their insane censorship, let people freely share their thoughts, opinions and ideas, you psychopathic motherfuckers. And I think it'll be a fun exercise about a decade from now, maybe to revisit some of the content that was being produced by people around this point in time, 2023, 2022, people who thought it was a wise idea to sell their Tesla stock before Tesla had solved autonomy, before Optimus had scaled up, those who had the short-term traders mentality. I'm not a genius, so I don't really know how things are going to play out, but in 10 years' time, it'll be fascinating to see if they made the right call by locking in there 20, 42, 69%, 103% gains on Tesla stock, or if perhaps a decade from now, Tesla's market cap has increased another 5, 10x or more and still shows enormous potential for the next decade or so. Of course, we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, my thinking is you certainly, if you're long, you take measures, which is to say trim, write calls, buy puts, or some variation of all of that. It's a steep, uncorrected move far above its 150-day moving average. And if we have a chart or two, we can pull it up. But if not, again, I think one wants to consider something that was loved, then hated, and is once again loved.
Now, guys, I know this is kind of embarrassing and a very shocking thing to say, but I'm actually not smart enough to understand technical analysis, which definitely makes sense and isn't stocks astrology. But I don't know what the symbols and the pattern on screen mean. Does this mean I should sell and lock in my short-term profits? Does it mean I should sacrifice my second-born child because the stock's gods are angry and the stock will go up if I do that? I'm a little bit lost. I'm sorry, I'm out of my depth here. Can anyone help? Anyone? Like I said, I'm not really a genius. I just have a valuation model and I'm looking into the future, so I don't really know how to look into what a stock's done and what all the drawings on it mean and how that's going to tell me what it'll do in the future. Can anyone help out? That'd be great. Thanks. Just let me know in the comments below what it means.
Usually when you get lopsided like that, it's right to take the other side.
Brian, what's your take on Mike's Tesla trade?
Yeah, I really like it, especially as a stock replacement. When you look at Tesla, the last 4 quarters, the stock has moved over 6% after earnings. So the call spread here that's only costing, less than 5% of the stock here, that's a way to sort of limit some of the risk on the run up. I bought Tesla earlier a few months ago, and now the stock's run up. Now's the time maybe to sell a little bit of that stock, buy a call spread instead, still get upside market participation, but sort of take out this earnings event, but get the earnings basis in if the stock continues to run higher. So that's a great way to play it.
Ooh, I love playing with my stocks too. Do you guys love playing with your stocks? I love playing with my stocks. It's so fun to play with my stocks. By the way, did you know when you play with your stocks, God is watching? What a fucking creep. I'm just kidding. I take it all back. I love you, Sky Daddy. Athletic Greens AG1 has given me a massive, meaningful boost in energy, allowing me to do a lot more every day, including using my brain more and using my body more. I highly recommend you guys and girls check it out. Athletic Greens AG1 is an excellent way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's got 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus prebiotics and probiotics and digestive enzymes and adaptogens to help you deal with stress. Plus, if you click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, you can get yourself a 1-year free supply of vitamin D3 and K2. But don't take my word for it. Here's what some of you guys and girls have to say. AG1 has changed my life. I was, as you described, treating myself like a circus, ate like trash, rarely exercised, used alcohol as a stress crutch, cannabis also. AG1 is what gave me the kick in the ass, got me back to the gym, motivated me to do more for myself, family, my business, etc. Keep doing what you do. Now, I know there's some skeptics, the same kind of people who think Elon Musk is a fraud, reading this going, what do you thought? There's no way that's possible, bro. It must be a placebo effect. Believe it or not, this is a recurring theme. If you give your body everything it needs to feel and perform its best, including having a lot more energy, you'll need ways to use that energy. For me personally, that includes more exercise, moving my body more social activity, and more cognitively demanding tasks, including producing a ton of exclusive content over on Twitter and on Patreon, plus my daily YouTube uploads. The proof's in the pudding. On to another testimonial from a viewer of this channel. SMR, you asked me to provide feedback on AG1. Here it is. It has helped with mental acuity, stamina, and intestinal waste management. Can't read between the lines. It certainly helps with regularity and digestion. That's what the digestive enzymes are for. It has also dramatically reduced my cravings for sugar. You guys need to stop eating sugar. It's fucking poison. I'm 50, 5'9", and overweight, aka a fat motherfucker. I think that's a technical term for overweight, isn't it? Is it fat motherfucker or obese? I can't remember. I average 100 hours a week in the West Texas oil fields as a safety supervisor. Jesus Christ, dude. No wonder you're struggling to keep your weight under control. 100 hours a week. Brutal. It has helped me lose weight. It is not an appetite suppressant. It can help fat people suppress cravings, and motivation to be healthier is critical for changing your diet. Love you, brother. Again, this is a great point and something people really don't seem to grasp. If you have more energy, everything becomes easier. It's like turning on easy mode for life. A few years ago, before I was taking AG1, my health was trash. I was struggling to get through the day, had afternoon fatigue. The last thing I wanted to do was either use my brain or move my body. Didn't have the energy. Now, my biggest struggle every day is figuring out ways to use that energy. I'm exercising way more, doing a lot more with my friends and family, and of course, my work output has increased substantially. And you can fact check me. Check out the average length of my videos I was posting to YouTube 3 years ago. Need I say more? And one final testimonial. Love this one. Okay, here's the deal for me with this AG1 shit. I'm 41 years old and not the type to eat, drink, smoke, or sleep healthy, so I was skeptical. That being said, here's what I experienced. Day 1, meh. Day 2, afternoon fatigue was about 45 minutes late. Day 3, 0 afternoon fatigue. Day 4, 0 afternoon fatigue plus extra energy. Day 5, again, 0 afternoon fatigue plus energy, wondering, what the fuck, really? See, this is the thing, right? The results for many people are just almost too good to be true. This is the same experience I had. My afternoon fatigue just vanished out of nowhere. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Why am I not tired in the afternoons anymore? Surely, it's not that AG1 shit, is it? Turns out it was. Day 6 and 7, same thing. Day 8, same thing. Plus, I had the want to get things done around the house that I normally would slack off and not get done. Again, the point, extra energy, you'll need to use it. You'll find ways to use it. Day 9, 10, and 11, and today is day 12. I fucking love it. So however you managed to get me to buy it, I'm so glad you did. Thank you so much, SMR. It really changed me so far. Guys, this shit really works. Just try it. By the way, this is the reason I continue to relentlessly promote AG1. A lot of people get real fucking mad in the comments. Oh my God, Snake Oil Salmon's sold out. Oh my God, he's a scammer. This is fraud. But constantly, I'm pretty sure everyone making these comments is also currently short Tesla stock. I'm not particularly concerned about people having a negative perception, those folks suffering from small brain syndrome, still living in my bum's basement syndrome, etc., writing mean comments, claiming AG1's a scam or it doesn't work. I mean, bro, when I get feedback like this is what keeps me going. And remember, there is a 90-day money-back guarantee. There's nothing to lose here. Just try this stuff for a month, and if you don't get these results, get your money back. See, it's a literal no-brainer. It's an IQ test at this point in time. Testimonial after testimonial after testimonial like this. Get your money back if it doesn't work. Just try it for a month, and if it doesn't work, get your money back. Today's the day. It's finally time. Be like this guy who was a massive skeptic, but finally, after 1,000 promotions in a row, caved in, tried AG1, and has results like this. Head to drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link in the pinned comment, and please, let me know how you're feeling in a few weeks' time. Now, if you'll excuse me, time to put my extra energy to good use. I'll be recording some more exclusive content for Patreon and my Twitter subscribers. So click the links in the pinned comment. See you over on Twitter and or Patreon, and don't forget to grab your AG1. Love ya.